Welcome to Mr. Moon has left the building, chaps. We have finally won a game.
We are back.
Two on the spin.
games.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Well, we drew QPR, but we won. We got through. Yeah. We're going to jump straight in. Spurs away. Addy, Tottenham away.
Oh,
yeah.
Spurs away.
And Addy, you were there, weren't you?
Mate, amazing.
How was it there?
It's brilliant. Do you know what? It was brilliant. The atmosphere before the game was so good. Everyone was really up for it. So just in the in the bar area and everything, everyone jumping about. The atmosphere was brilliant. That carried on out into the stands, and the team started really well. And so the fans were were getting behind them as we always do, and it was just a brilliant atmosphere. And obviously we went up quite early in the game. I can't remember when we scored now, but it's fairly early. And we were just giving it the big one, which was just, it's the best
thing. It was like old ever. West Ham, wasn't it?
Old West Ham, yeah. It was just a brilliant day. And away, obviously, there's no better way to win a game of football, is there? And it was just the best feeling. Long time coming, that feeling, to be fair. But fair play to the lads. They played really well.
First half performance, I thought, was our best in years. I thought it was fantastic, actually, all over the pitch. Now, it does beg the question. There was no Kilman, no Magassa, no Potts, no Diouf, no Hermadson who was brought in, which you kind of, and I'm not going to blame them players, obviously, and no Paquetá.
And then Souček started, right? So it was almost like
Souček started. And I've got to say, I thought Fernandez was incredible first half. I thought Todibo was incredible first half. Probably his best game for West Ham. There was someone else as well. Summerville. That's exactly what I was thinking of. Thanks, Gal. Summerville was just like, let his reins off. And he just looked like a world beater, didn't he?
Yeah, completely different player, yeah.
And then, obviously, second half came in. And it was the old Nuno,
sit
back to the wall. And it was a completely different game. All right, we won it. And it was. I've got to say, there's bits of me that like Tati. He works really hard. That I was actually going to say, he's almost got that West Ham cult striker player about him. He could be. Got a stupid booking in the first minute, I think,
he did.
Which he walked on a tightrope the whole game. But I don't think he's got the quality that we probably need. But he's definitely got the effort, which I'm all right with that. Yeah. What were your standouts?
Probably, I mean, Souček's my favourite player. So to see him back, just get his foot on the ball and just brought a little bit of calmness to that midfield, a bit of experience. And we've always talked the last couple of weeks about not being able to relate to this team. With Souček in there, I was rooting really behind the team again because one of the old guard was in there. I feel really bad for slating Summerville last week because although he played well against QPR, I said that's his level. And then he's made me eat my words this week by doing it against Spurs. So I thought he was exceptional. Tati runs all day. Pablo's runs all day as well. Todibo.
Without much quality though, Pablo.
Yeah, but like you say, mate, at the moment, all we want is a little bit of heart. And he just ran for every ball, and I like that. And I just thought, to a man, we were just fantastic in the first half. So yeah, I was. I like to be proved wrong, right? So it's nice for these players to sort of start showing us that perhaps maybe we are wrong about them. But I don't know about you. I'm still very much I don't want to get too carried away because it was only Tottenham, right? I know we shouldn't be saying that, but it was only Tottenham. And
yeah, let's be honest, Spurs
are the worst
in any other years might go down. I actually look at Spurs, and they almost look like they're on the direct trajectory that we have been on, but they're a year behind us.
Yeah. Yeah.
And next year could be very bad for Spurs if they continue doing what they're doing.
Yeah. I agree.
They're kind of making the same mistakes as us in the transfer market, going for names that didn't quite make it everywhere, scattergun approach with recruitment. And this obviously ain't a Spurs podcast, but you almost can see us, can't you, in them?
Yeah, but that I think, as we've all been West Ham fans long enough now to know that it was never going to be we were shit until Christmas and then we were down. They're always going to reel us in a little bit, aren't they, to give us a little bit of hope. So hopefully, long may that continue. I'm still not one of these that thinks we'll be all right now if we can put in that level of performance, maybe. But I don't know. I'm sort of still very trying to keep very grounded. We'll see. If we beat Sunderland, then we're back in again, aren't we?
What did you add? What were your standouts?
I was just going to say, following on from what Gal just said, it's like, yeah, we're still going down, but we beat Tottenham, so it don't matter. Going back to the performance on Saturday, there's a few players I wanted to sort of highlight. First, I think, because I give him stick quite a lot as well, but Areola, he's actually made some unbelievable saves in that game to keep us in it.
Yes.
And he deserves the credit because he was brilliant on Saturday. Whereas, in the past, he's made mistakes that's cost us. On the weekend, he was brilliant. He made some really brilliant saves, which was great. The two centre-halves, obviously, I love Mavropanos anyway. And I generally think as most clubs' third choice centre-half, they'd be pleased with a player like Mavropanos. He's arguably been our best centre-half over the season.
100%.
But I thought he was brilliant. Todibo, I thought, was absolutely excellent. And he looks quick and fit and sharp. Like nothing like this when he joined us.
It's the guy that we signed, not the guy that we got.
Exactly.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I thought he was outstanding. Also, I wanted to give huge credit to Ollie Scarles and his character over these past few weeks after making that mistake. I think, we was even questioning on here whether he was good enough to make it. But I think with his attitude, I think he's done well these last few weeks, he
was very good against Spurs.
He hasn't put
and QPR.
Yeah. He's done brilliant, and to come through that, because he was distraught after that. Was it Fulham game? It was the Fulham game? Yeah. Fair play to him, and then like Gal said, Souček, he's been on the bench for a while now. I thought he was really good, just solid and safe and dependable sort of thing, sticking his nut in where it hurts. I thought he was brilliant. And then just quickly, sorry not to hog it, but Summerville, I really think, because he's not been consistent enough for us. However, if he starts producing his end products, he could be like £100 million player. He's that good on the ball. He just needs to start producing with his end product.
That is you've gone a bit rogue with 100 mil there.
I don't see many players. I know what you're saying, but I don't see many players who could beat a man as easily as he can.
But he just doesn't do it often.
No.
I think he beats men. I think he beats men easily. He just hasn't had any end product. Yeah. I think if he adds goals and assists to his game, he could be a top player.
And that was the man I thought that we'd signed. To be honest with you, I was so excited when we signed him. Almost the same as Ben Rama, to be honest with you. I was so excited when we signed Ben Rama. I watched him a lot for Brentford at the time when he came up from the Championship. And I was really excited. And he just didn't really. But then you also wonder, and actually, Man United proved this weekend with a manager that played more forward in Michael Carrick. Manchester United were a completely different animal. In actual fact, I don't think I've seen a Man United team in years try and win the ball as much as they did. They were like throwing themselves at things.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, they didn't have the possession, but they looked it was like a completely different side with the same players. And that's when I look and go, and we looked at that in that first half. It looked like anyone watching that would go, how's this team going down? And second half, you kind of went, okay, I kind of see why they're going down. And to be Areola, yes, I agree with it, but he also showed, and I don't know if you saw it as much there when you were at the game, he flapped at a few as well, which is the other side to him that we see from corners. Like he came out and missed a few, but his saves that he made were extremely important. And actually, I would probably go as far to say as he has probably in this run-up been our most important player, almost. I think he's actually done very well. And he's someone that I don't think is probably good enough.
I agree.
But he has really, really stepped up to the plate. So you got to say that.
Unbelievable saves out of the blue. Like his reflexes are second to none. He does make some unbelievable saves. But yeah, it's just the rest.
He's very similar in a sense to Vicario in goal for Spurs. Yeah. That he's an amazing shot stopper, Vicario. But he just has this. How did you, Mick? What did you think?
I'll be honest with you. First half, football was excellent all over the park. I'm going to go against probably what you lot say about Souček. Like, I like Souček, but I think we really missed the quality of a player like a pass when he plays. But he gives absolutely everything. I thought Bowen was outstanding. And I think he's been quite poor the last sort of month or so, but I thought he was absolutely outstanding. Areola, going to what you were saying about Areola. Now, for me, he's always been a great shot stopper. What lets him down is the commanding of his box. Do you know what I mean? It's the commanding of his box. But he's a really good shot stopper, and there's not many in the league that I would take over Areola for us right now, because yes, we're poor defensively as in for corners. If we were set up better, I think he would be better at corners, but I don't think we set up very well on corners. But Summerville, again, outstanding. And that is completely right. If he showed that end product more, he would be a really, really top player. Because he's got the pace, he's got the ability to go past players easily. He just needs to get that end product. And if he can get that on lock, like he has done last 2 games, I suppose, then you've got to turn around and say, he could be the difference to us staying up. Having Summerville on a bit of form. Do you know what I mean?
No, I totally agree with that. Totally agree.
He could be.
I was going to say earlier, I think if he could come into a bit of form now, he could keep us up.
The momentum.
That important.
If you can keep that momentum going with his performance, yes, I'm not expecting him to be a 9 for the rest of the season. It's not. He's gonna. That's why he's at West Ham. You know what I mean? He's not going to be the 9-10s every week. But I think if you can get your solid 7-8s most weeks, I think he could be the real game changer for us if he can keep on. If he can keep in form, I really do. Scarl's outstanding, and again, agree with you, Ed. I think that the leading up to these last 2 games previously, he looked like he was shot to pieces, confidence-wise. And again, I think that's with Areola. I think the start of the season, they bought Mads Manson, and even the season before that, even Potter was kind of, it was very much like, he's not my number one. We're looking for another keeper. And it's pretty much been, he's had no confidence from the manager in him. And I think now Nuno's there. Nuno's been, you're my number one. I'm not looking for a goalkeeper as such to replace you. You're my number one. You go out there and you perform, you'll stay there. And he's starting to show the quality that I think he is. He's not top, but for West Ham, I think he's a really, really good goalkeeper.
Yeah, and I think obviously this week we should have Diouf back.
Yes.
After winning African Cup of Nations. To be honest with you, I haven't watched any of the African Cup of Nations, but I was watching the highlights. How did Morocco get away with? Did you see what they were doing with the towel?
Yeah, I know.
Like, it's basically like being in the Euros, right? It is exactly a Euros, right? Yeah. At that level, to be doing all this and actually getting away with it is insane.
Right.
And then I didn't actually see what happened with this penalty. Why did they actually walk off?
It was
because they didn't agree it was penalty.
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah,
it was Diouf actually who committed the foul, but I think it was. I was watching it. I think it was more the fact that he disallowed a soft Senegal goal literally a minute before or 2 minutes before, and then he's given as equally soft foul for a penalty at the other end, like a couple of minutes later.
It's corrupt, isn't it? It is corrupt, that AFCON.
I mean, I mean,
well, did think of it. The fact that the towel thing was insane. Did you see him? Like pushing, like fighting the goalkeeper all the way around the pitch.
Yeah, that was a player as well, wasn't it?
With the ball boys. We need ball boys like that.
We do.
Like, I don't think I've ever seen anything like that at a football game, let alone a final that the world's watching. It was madness, wasn't it? And then, I can understand Senegal. They must have been so happy when they won because, and it was even like people like Hakimi doing it, and it was really insane what they were doing about that towel. It was if it was a massive difference, but it was obviously putting Senegal off, or would put anyone off because you're just rattling them.
Mind games a bit.
Yeah, but do you think Diouf gets back in the team over Scholes?
No, not at the moment.
Yeah.
No, I agree. I don't think he does.
Although, just on Scholes, I echo everything Addy said a minute ago, but just harping back to what happened at the weekend, I think we got away with one with Scholes when he handballed it.
Yeah, I do too.
If that was against us, I'd want that.
Yeah, it's handball.
It's handball. And that was a 1-1, wasn't it? And I went, here we go. It's a penalty.
That could be the turn of the season.
Yeah.
And when he didn't give it, I was like, how have we got away with that?
That could be the bit of luck that turns our season.
It's exactly like what we had in the final of the Conference League.
Yeah.
It's exactly the same. And we got that. But in terms of what you said, mate, I don't think you can. I think that'll rock Scholes' confidence. I think he's earned his place now.
I think so.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It would really rock his confidence if Diouf comes back and gets straight back in. It'll be tough on him. But I think he has earned that place. And Diouf needs to win it back because it isn't like Diouf's been amazing for us.
No.
I also like the option of having Diouf to come on at left wing if Summerville's not doing it because we have got no one else.
They just signed the kid though, didn't they? They just signed some Venezuelan.
We might have soon. Oh my days!
A player that no one's ever heard of from 22. A team no one's ever heard of.
Yeah,
he's not even that young. It's just ridiculous.
It's a loan as well.
It's a loan, isn't it?
It's a loan with an option of about $1 million, I think, to buy. Yeah. You just think, just give him the $1 million. Do you know what I mean? What's $1 million? You either sign him permanently for $1 million, or you just say, no, we don't want him. He's not good to loan him for $1 million.
Support Venezuelan football.
Yeah.
Help them
Honestly,
out.
God, at the moment, right, I'll be happy. If they announced it tomorrow, I'll be happy with Colin Foster and Alvin Martin. I really would. It's got to that point where I feel like I'm living in a parallel universe. Like Sam said this morning, our biggest bugbear and our biggest vulnerability this season is the centre backs, and we haven't.
We've not even been in for one.
No,
we don't need any centre backs now. We're good.
And that's what. Sadly, that's what the club are probably thinking. Oh, we've just beat Tottenham. Nah, these would be all right. And unfortunately, it isn't good enough because Kilman. Unfortunately, I think his days are completely done at the club now. Yeah. I think he will play again because I think Nuno will probably slip back into that back three in times. But he's not good enough. And then who do you play if he gets injured? What is mad is the under-21s don't stop winning, do they?
Yeah.
And there's not someone in there that could come in.
No, the best.
But in a 2, I just don't think he's good enough. In a 2, in a 3, you might get away with it. But in a 2, I just don't think he's good enough. And especially if you've got 2 next to him that has been as aggressive as what Mavropanos has been lately and Todibo has been lately. If you could have them 2 next to him, it probably does mask a lot of his deficiencies if he was to come in. But then I also read today, apparently this is from that X, that the club are blaming Nuno at the minute why we're not signing centre-backs, because the centre-backs he wants apparently are too expensive, and the ones that they're offering him, he's very unsure on. So he's not making any decision.
This is the geezer that wants to sell Callum Wilson still, and it's like, what?
Oh, it's mad what's going on at the club now, ain't it?
But look, I've got to be honest with you. That is the madness of this club. Yeah. But look, we're keeping Callum Wilson. Look, I know Callum Wilson's doing all right with us, right? But firstly, he should never have been at West Ham in the first place. Yeah, like if we're looking at it, he should never have been there. He's on a terrible contract. Obviously, if he's not playing for him, then he's obviously not getting his money. So I understand his point. Now, I do think Callum Wilson has done well for us this season, and he must be one of our top scorers.
I think he is the top goal scorer, I think. 4 or 5.
Yeah.
And so do I think, like, I looked at it at the weekend, and I kept saying, why have we not bought Wilson on? Why have we not bought Wilson on? Because Tatty, there was nothing going on, like we were no threat whatsoever, and Tatty had burnt out easily. And he brings Wilson on. Yes, he got very lucky. He brought him on with him like 90 minutes. And the guy we was watching it with, he laughed. He went, "Oh, you finally got your wish. Look, he's going to come on and score, is he?" Like that. And he come on and he went, "You know." I watched it in the Dubai Hammers. And I'm going to give them a shout out, because what an atmosphere it was in there. It was absolutely brilliant in there. Like, it was a real... I've been to supporters clubs around the world. Actually, the one in LA, and it's not like any West Ham fans. It's just like odd person wearing a shirt. These were like real East Londoners, all actually who used to go to West Ham in a pub. And it was so much fun. Like the singing after it was brilliant. The bubble machines they have on. If you're a West Ham fan and you go to Dubai, go and see Dubai Hammers in the Nelson. And it even looks like the pub. It's a bit Bolinish, the pub. And it kind of gives you that thing. So, but it's really, really fun. So well done for the guys who put it on there. They run a great night. But yeah, it was a really good place to watch it in there.
You can tell what a good night you had, mate, because you look like an absolute bag of shit on Sunday morning.
I was very bleary. I've got to be honest with you. It was a bit bleary. I had a lot of pints of beer. I stayed in and watched the Arsenal game after. Do you know what? I watched 3 of the worst games of football ever this weekend. I watched Arsenal after that game. Then I watched Wolves Newcastle, which was 0-0. And then I watched Everton Villa straight on the back of it. And it was like, what an advert for the Premier. And I've got to be honest with you, football now is just so boring.
It's awful.
It just isn't very fun anymore.
It's funny, Sam said like a few times now, football's gone shit. And even if you look at the game globally, we haven't got those characters anymore, have we? Even the best players. I mean, obviously Ronaldo and Messi are in their twilight. Ibrahimovic he's gone, hasn't he? And Mbappe,
we retired about 8 years ago.
Charisma. Yeah, so it's like, it's just we're crying out for someone.
Balotelli, someone like that.
I reckon it's Eagle.
Eagle,
if Eagle comes in, mate, he will be the absolute saviour
of our season. It's all resting on Eagle. But he's funny. Like, we don't even think of Eagle, like, other than Gal. No one thinks of Eagle. And so he's not getting a go. But I just don't understand this club, how we're not signing a centre half. I can't understand. Pablo was not really needed as a player. So it didn't make any sense, 25 mil on him. Paquetá, obviously. Well, let's get your views on Paquetá. Mick, what's your thoughts on Paquetá?
I'm gutted, because I think he is such a good player. And he is literally like a game changer. But he's been terrible for us. And I'll be like, look, if he wants to go home, just let him go now. Take the 35 million, 40 million, whatever it is they're offering, and just be like, thank you for your work. See you later. And reinvest it. what is the point in saying we want him back on loan? Well, he's got 1 assist in 50 games. So
We've already spent that money, mate. That's what we've already spent that money.
Probably. So, but what's the point in keeping him? He obviously doesn't want to be there. And it's not like, and that's why I don't mind him going, because it's not like he said, I just want out of West Ham no matter where I go. He's literally said, I want to go back home to my club. And I can respect that. Do you know what I mean? If I was playing and I was a foreigner in some other country, I'd be like, I just want to go back home and play for my club, West Ham. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's obviously, he's not going to go anywhere else. I mean, all you're hearing is Aston Villa and Spurs. And let's be honest, I know Villa are sitting second, but once the bubble bursts for them and Emre leaves, where are they going to be? Do you know what I mean? The Spurs at the minute are just as bad as us. And that's probably what he's looking at. Why am I going to go Spurs or Villa? Yes, Villa are up there, but in a year or two, when they still can't spend money and Emre's had enough, he's going to be.
I also don't think he gets anywhere near that Villa side.
If he's on
Morgan Rogers,
yeah,
you wouldn't play him in front of Morgan Rogers. You wouldn't play him in front of Tielemans. Like, he's a brilliant player. And then the other one, Onana, is the other one, the third one, isn't it?
McGinn.
And
like
McGinn.
Yeah, I like McGinn.
I saw a report the other day linking us with McGinn. I was thinking,
no, that was Ray Parlour.
He's their captain.
That was Ray Parlour. He said West Ham need a player like John McGinn, and it kind of snowballed from there.
And he's right.
Yeah, he is 100% right.
He is right. It would be a great player for us. Yeah. Are we linked with? Is there any link that is worthy of a shout at the minute? Ed, have you seen anything? You see a lot more of this than me, maybe.
Players wise,
yeah,
I haven't. You know, I've been hearing this Sassy as a centre half. They're talking to.
What, from Chelsea?
Yeah. I think they've been talking about him for a while. And
Lindelof.
Lindelof. Yeah.
He's in the bomb squad, isn't he?
Lindelof today. I saw Lindelof.
Yeah, but Lindelof plays for Villa.
I think he only played because they had injuries. He's not
right.
Tyrone Mings as well. Another one I saw today.
Bad injuries, but it's one of those. Yeah, look, Tyrone Mings would be a fantastic player for us, and Lindelof, I think, both would be good players for us. I think Lindelof would be a very good player for us, actually. Funny enough, I walk around the swimming pool here today, and Ryan Sterling's sitting around it with his family. Yeah, I was actually going to say, fancy West Ham, do you? But again, Disassi and Sterling haven't played. Not a game. They haven't played a game. So you can't sign a Disassi because how far off it must they be?
He didn't even play for Villa last year either, did he?
No. So I don't see it. What do we what was I say? Did any of you see Soufal's interview on TalkSport?
No, I missed it. I went into a job. I really wanted to listen. So I listened to TalkSport.
It's on YouTube.
I'll have to have a look at it.
It's on YouTube. I just watched it a minute ago. It is a shame, you know, when you see someone like that who clearly loves the club, and he wouldn't slag us off because he's obviously not going to do that. They asked him about the stadium, and he said, "Look, I didn't play at Upton Park," but he said, "Listen, we had good nights at London Stadium." He referenced obviously the two that we're going to always say is Seville and Leverkusen. He said it was rocking. Lyon was another one, wasn't it?
Yeah,
that it was rocking. But he said it is disgraceful that West Ham are in this predicament, and he wanted to say more. You could see, and I was seeing that obviously the way they let him go and things like that. And he said, I wasn't angry, but I was a bit disappointed, was what he said. And I get what he's saying. He said his boy was there and his boy loved it, and he went back to Fulham and saw the bubbles and everything and started crying, and it was really sad. But he clearly has got a big affinity to West Ham because he came and watched, I think, in the crowd at Fulham, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Yeah,
he did. Yeah,
which was nice to see. But how much would we have done with him and Cress this year?
Leaders.
That's it. Leaders in the changing room. Like setting examples to players. I love Lad. And yeah, he would be, even if he's not starting, he'd be invaluable in that dressing room.
Now, I said it on here, did I think it was right to let them go in the summer? Yes.
Yeah.
If they were being replaced properly. And they wasn't replaced. And
that's all the same.
Emerson wasn't. They brought in Dewar for Emerson and Cresswell. And then Skulls they've brought up where maybe he wasn't quite ready and he could have played a bit less games and things like that, and really sort of brought him in ready for next season a little bit more. Or
could have gone on loan, couldn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where he should have gone. I see Orford scored again yesterday. Good goal as well, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But
I've got a question.
He doesn't seem to get a sniff.
Got to give him a chance, I feel. Especially with
Callum Marshall scored on his debut, and so did Nicholas Fulkrug. I forget that he still has the big German.
He'll be back next season.
I just think I saw Gabriel Bonglahor talking about Paquetá today as well, and he really adamant of who does this guy think he is? And I'm a bit in agreement now. I do agree with you a little bit, Mick, about going home, but West Ham really, really stuck with him through, and actually we stuck with him through very, very poor performances. And the only thing I don't know with West Ham, and it was the same with Kudos, is it the way that we play why we're not getting better out of them as well? And I did think that last year when we're sitting back on the goal line, and then when it goes up to them, it's so slow that they've got two men on them and they can't do their best work. Maybe, I don't actually know. My footballing knowledge is not that good to see that. But I wonder if that is part of it as well with Paquetá. I do think he owes us a little bit more.
I think it's a massive part of it, how we play. Because if you look, right, the so-called bigger players that we've signed are over the last couple of years, when they've left, they've all gone to bigger clubs, playing in Europe. And they've all gone, apart from Kudos, I suppose. He's not really hit. But then, as you said earlier on about Spurs, are exactly like West Ham. Do you know what I mean? So that could be why he's not really kicked on at Spurs. But Alvarez gets rave reviews out there. Fulcrook, they love him out there.
Yeah, he still has. Alvarez.
Yeah. But Guilherme, he's playing for Sporting. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? He's playing games for Sporting. And I just think what we've let all these players go and they've gone to better clubs, bigger clubs. It can't just be that the player's poor. Do you know what I mean? Otherwise, these bigger clubs are not going to want them.
I think it would be very remiss of us on this episode today not to give some sort of thought to a legend that's been allowed to leave the club this week in Andy Irvine.
Oh, yeah.
He's been allowed to go to Prague, and obviously...
And where's he gone?
Yeah.
Better club.
West Ham B.
Yeah.
Done well there, going to Sparta.
He's done very well.
He really has, actually.
He's done really well.
Like, Andy Irvine, what a career this geezer's had. He's going to turn around one day and just go, what? It's unbelievable.
He's a bit like Scott.
No one knows where he came from. He may have been a plumber over at Sullivan's house one day. And he's just managed to... No one knows where he came from, where he's gone. He's got international cap as well, I believe.
Yeah, he's been starting to get picked for Scotland, yeah.
I wish Andy Irvine, but did he go on a permanent transfer?
Yeah.
So that was just a move one aside to move you over there. Let's just move you around, get you off the wage bill. We don't hear any of it of really what the deal's been done, or that we're one of the most secretive clubs of everything, to the fact of who was injured this week that Magassa.
Oh, yes.
Where was Magassa?
Yeah.
Injured, apparently. But then I've heard that he's on his way.
No one heard anything about Magassa at all, and actually hasn't been spoken about really because we won, but not even in the squad. No mention of it. No. like as if it just didn't happen.
Yeah. It was so mental on Saturday that the week before we were talking about Mavropanos might have broke his neck. Next minute he's starting. I had heard Callum Wilson had gone on the Thursday. Now he's coming on. I'm going, what's going on here? Like, I heard some people at the game when he came on, Wilson said, I thought he had gone.
Yeah, no, they did.
No, everyone did in the pub.
Yeah.
No one thought
he was
lack
of communication. No Magassa announcement. Mavropanos, we thought he had broke his neck the week before, then he's starting. And then Callum Wilson, we thought...
No Paquetá in the squad.
I know, but it's... And this is why people start rumours, because there's no communications. You've got no other alternative but to sort of start your own narrative, really, have you?
Yeah, really, really, really odd the way we do things. Next up, Sunderland at home. What day is it?
Saturday at 12:30, I think.
Yes, the early kickoff.
It's an early kickoff, yeah. What do we think there? They're a very good side, Sunderland.
Yeah. We need to win that, or Spurs means, I guess it means something
nothing.
To us. On paper, it means nothing.
Yeah, I agree.
It was a big loss for us. Nottingham Forest picking up a point against Arsenal this week. It was a big that we didn't get that 3 points back. Yeah. And actually that's a big result for them, Arsenal, to keep the clean sheet against them as well. That was a very big result. Who have they got this week? Because it is, and Leeds won again this weekend, didn't they?
Yeah, it did.
It is it's a 50-50 now with us and Forest, but it's 70-30 in Forest's favour, I think, at this minute. Who have they got this week, Forest? Does anyone know?
Sure. Just makes you sick of that game against them that we obviously that we lost. Even a draw would look like a great result. Well,
Brentford at home.
Result, but good.
Brentford away, sorry. Brentford away.
Forest. That's a tough game.
It's a tough game because Brentford are good at home, aren't they?
Yeah.
I think it depends which Sunderland turn up at West Ham at the weekend, because whilst they're fantastic and they've really overachieved, they have had some ups and downs in recent weeks, and they're a little.
Well, they've won. I'm looking at it now. They've only won one in the last 5, and that was this last week. A loss previous to that, and then 3 draws previous to that. So they haven't. They've only lost 1 in 5.
Yeah, they did have the most players leaving for AFCON as well.
Yeah, they had 7, I think, didn't they?
Yeah. So that might have something to do with it, I'd imagine. And then obviously,
they got back
last week. They got back last week, and they win.
Who did they beat last week?
Was it Fulham? I think it was.
Oh yeah, I think it was.
But this is what Spurs fans thought they were going to do. We're going to get our losing streak back on track by beating West Ham. It's a really good time to play West Ham. Sunderland might be thinking the same. Do you know what? We need a win. We'll go down there, win. We'll sort of, restart, putting a little run together, and we just need to show them from the outset that it's not going to happen. We've got it.
We're just not very good at home. That's the problem, and we also, it's such a caveat with us because it's how are we going to play? If we're gonna, and who's gonna play?
Yeah,
because
you probably start.
It might be we have a complete changed team again, and Kilman's back in, and Magassa and Potts are playing, and I'm not saying Magassa and Potts are the problem at all, but there's a team there that's won.
Yeah, leave it.
Does Wilson get a start? I don't think so, but could you bring him on a bit earlier than 90 minutes?
Yeah,
because Tatty does run a lot, and he probably could have been sent off against Spurs. Because after that booking, there was a couple of times where he called people and he could have gone. Not that it was bad challenges or anything, but he is fiery, clearly. But he does put his body in the way. He's done a couple of things where he throws his body in the way and kind of like lets the ball go past him for someone else. He does sort of sacrifice himself a little bit, and I quite like that about him. I've got to say about him, where I thought, I like this geezer. Now, he doesn't look a great finisher. That's the problems in the Premier League, and especially with us, he's not going to get that many chances. And that's where I think Wilson is a better finisher.
Yeah. I think Wilson should be coming on 70 minutes every game. I think he's perfect to come on at that time. I mean, look when he come on. Did he come on against Forest, or did he start that game against Forest away? I can't remember, but I remember him causing havoc towards the end of the game. But obviously he's lacking legs now. He's getting on a bit, so he's not going to be effective for a whole 90 minutes. But I think for 20 minutes,
that impact sub,
100%. And he's likely to get more chances towards the end of the game as well. And
100%.
Yeah,
I agree with you.
There was a big thing on TalkSport yesterday, and they were saying like incentivising Callum Wilson. He's only 7 Premier League goals away from being in the 100 club. So what a great incentive for him. Yeah, Callum Wilson. So this season he could reach the 100 club Premier League goals at West Ham. What a great incentive.
Listen, he's been a great player without a doubt. There's no doubt about that. When I say we shouldn't have signed him, it's not because he's not a good player. It's because he hasn't played. But while he's fit, use him.
Yeah.
I have no understanding why the manager hates him. Also, another one, James Ward-Prowse. What on earth are we doing?
Baldy.
How do they call you Baldy?
What's your problem with Baldy?
That was
Aye.
That it seemed that was the reason he pulled out, but it doesn't strike me as that being true. It doesn't look the sort of man that would go to a new club and just shout "Oi, Baldy" to the manager. I really hope that is true, by the way, if he did do it, because it's brilliant.
Quality, wouldn't
it? But yeah, but again, surely having him there all this time, he could have done something with him to come on. Like, would I prefer him to be coming on than Rodriguez? 1,000%. He seems to and they're talking about Rodriguez leaving now to Villarreal. Which, who are we bringing in?
No idea.
We just keep talking about getting rid of players. I don't get it. I'll never understand West Ham. Yes, I'm happy that we beat Spurs. Even if it was for 1 week that we were happy, it was worth it.
It was.
But I do feel we're probably going to be not as happy in the coming weeks, because we've got Sunderland and then it's Chelsea, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And then I think Burnley, I believe. And then Man United. Now, Man United at the time seems winnable, but after the game against City, I don't think Man United will sustain it. They haven't sustained it for a long time. But they looked a very different animal. Now, I'm not going to say Michael Carrick's gone in there and turned them around, that's for sure. But they do look a different team. So we have got to pick up some points. So Sunderland, as you say, Gal, we have to win this game. And Burnley, we have to win that game. Chelsea, you're probably looking, but I'm just going through the teams. Then we got Bournemouth, they're in 3-4.
Chelsea are that good.
No, neither do I.
But we just have to turn
I still think that's the most bizarre management appointment I've ever seen in my life. The old Liam Rossegna, although we do love a Rossegna at West Ham, don't we? But yeah, that's a really...
I just don't... in actual fact, if I was a Chelsea fan, I would be absolutely livid with what they're doing. And I hear their model, and I heard it from an agent the other day, is not to win. Their model is completely selling players, buying and selling players. That is their model. They've put a manager that they can trust. Apparently, Maresca was being told what time to bring players on, what time to bring them off, not to affect them for their value and to get them injured and things like that, who to pick, who not to pick. And I can't actually believe Maresca was kind of going along with it for a while, or he didn't come out and say this is what's going on. But maybe his contract was so tight that he couldn't say it. But he'll go and get a job somewhere, I'm sure. And he's someone that maybe we look at in the Championship to say, like, is he the man there? I don't know. Do you think the manager will stay if we get relegated?
No.
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so. Mind you,
No.
Has he managed down there before with Wolves? Did he bring them up?
Yes, he did.
Maybe he knows the league. What it takes.
I think he's waiting to get the trigger. I think the Tottenham game was a bit different, but against QPR and others, he's looked so disinterested and lost and upset. But I have to say, again, I know a lot of West Ham fans really rate this manager, but I don't think it is all the manager's fault. I don't think it's really any of the manager's fault, to be honest with you. But he invited that pressure on from Spurs. But I just don't understand, as Roy Keane would say, how these players don't just go, let's get up. If you're Mavropanos and Todibo, just go, this clearly isn't working. Let's just move up.
Yeah.
And just forget what the manager says. Because that's what I don't understand. But maybe they're so heavily coached now that they have to do everything. And players are saying that some players without coaching don't know what to do anymore. So yeah, he's a bit of a weird one for me. I'm not Team Nuno now because he's won a game, but he did get it right in the first half, and I just hope he goes away and says, "Hey,
yeah,
we were good here."
Yeah, it is a little bit like one step forward, two steps back with him, though. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see the team sheet and Kilman's back. That's
I wouldn't either.
He does, and then all of a sudden he loses some of those fans that perhaps he got on Saturday. You know, so we'll wait and see.
Well, let's finish up predictions. What what are you going Sunderland game?
I think it's gonna be tough. I'm gonna stay on this positive wave, and I'm gonna say 2-1 West Ham.
Yeah, Gal.
I'm gonna go our first clean sheet of the season, 1-0.
Oh,
or first clean
Would
sheet.
that be the first?
Well, first for Areola anyway.
Wow, that just says it all, doesn't it? I'm going to sadly go 1-1. I think Sunderland have got a bit too much for us.
I agree.
But a point doesn't really do us any good, I don't think. It's almost like a loss, a point, for us at this stage.
You're right.
Yeah. No, I agree. Go on, go.
No, sorry, Matt. I was just going to say, a while ago, if you'd said 1-1 at Spurs, I would have took it. But to win it, it's like we have to win it. We have to win. Yeah. And like you say, it really because we're trying to play catch up all the time. We don't look at it like a point game. We're looking at it like 3 or 2 points lost. So every game is must win, isn't it? It really is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do agree. Oh, actually, I'm going to finish on this. Did you see the thing in the Boleyn this week that they had with all the old players there and the song?
Yeah, I did see that.
Yeah.
What did you think about the song?
The Bubbles.
The Bubbles song, you mean?
No, the guy actually sung a West Ham song.
No, I haven't heard that song. No, I haven't heard that.
Oh, so if you haven't heard it, I don't know the guy's name. The song is really nice. It's a really good song. It's a bit like, I'll tell you what it's exactly like, North London Forever. Right? Not sounding, but it's one of them songs. And I think they want to try and introduce it into the crowd. Okay. I don't know how I feel about that. A new song like a North London Forever. It feels very new football and not us.
A bit contrived, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But he's not slagging off the song because the song actually is really catchy and really good. Go and see it. You can see it on a lot of them, like them old, the YouTube clips and Instagram clips. Yeah. I don't know his name, but if anyone knows, put it in the comments so everyone else can see. But yeah, it is interesting, but I wouldn't like to see us start playing a different song at West Ham. I don't know. I think we're one of them lucky teams that have got such an amazing song in Home Forever, Brian Bubbles. Not many teams have got that, have they?
No.
Because even Liverpool's Never Walk Alone isn't theirs.
No.
Yeah, Liverpool, they wouldn't change it, would they? No.
No, and I think that's one of the best football songs ever. But Celtic sing it as well. Yeah. We've got one that only us sing.
Yeah.
And I think that makes it very rare to change that up. But
Yeah,
a lot of other teams haven't got it. It's funny how I always look at other teams and think, oh, you haven't got a song. But even it was funny because it's not actually a West Ham song, obviously. Like we kind of think that he's just built for us because it is so apt for us.
It was a Vera Lynn, and even before that, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it is Vera Lynn, isn't it? She was wartime, wasn't she? That's where it comes from, doesn't it?
Well, I think it comes
What's the
from...
film? It's in a film, isn't it? An old film.
What happened was we had a little winger, and he looked like the curly-haired little boy on the Pears soap advert. So back in the 20s, 30s, they had a Pears soap advert on billboards around London, and the little boy had tight curly hair, and we had a winger, and they started saying he looked like him. And then that's when they started singing "I'm Forever Blowing Bubbles" because it had bubbles in the advert.
Oh, really? I never knew that.
That's what it was. It was based.
That's really interesting. I actually never knew that at all. Did you know that?
No, I've heard that before, but I wouldn't be able to remember the story, word for word sort of thing. But
no, I always actually wondered where that comes from. You just kind of think it's because we always blew bubbles. It isn't, obviously. No. I didn't know that. So that's really interesting. Anyway, lads, we're going to finish up there.
Yeah. Good to see you.
In the comments, let us know what you think is going to happen at Sunderland, and obviously your Tottenham reactions. We want to hear them. And then obviously, if anyone else, Mickey obviously darted off. I think he had to go. I don't know if he had a problem. I didn't address that Mick just vanished out this whole podcast.
I think the police come through the front door or something.
Mickey's now been arrested. He's looking at 10 to 12. And great for joining us. And obviously, thank you. I've been getting so many messages, and it's so nice. I had so many people at the Nelson and the Dubai Hammers message say they love the podcast and things like that. So I'm glad people are enjoying it. It is fun to do, and it's good to catch up. I'm sorry I forgot actually it was even happening today because honestly, my life is so busy here at the minute. It's unbelievable. I haven't got time to sit down at the minute. My boy is trialling at about 4 different teams at the minute. So every single night I'm at a football club, and I need him just to pick a team now. It's like I can't believe West Ham haven't got one here, to be honest with you. The football that I saw yesterday, I'll give him a shout out. It's called BJM Academy. It's a guy called Bobby Morton, and he's out of Romford, I think. And a lot of fellas back in England whose kids play at sort of elite level, like at clubs and things like that, mentioned me to him. And I didn't know if my boy was that level, to be honest with you. But he went there yesterday. I have never seen training like what he done with these boys yesterday. It was insane. Yeah. Like, he didn't let the session stop. So it carries on, and these passing intricate drills that he does, and everyone kind of moves position. So you're not just a defender, you're all over. And some of these boys, there was this little boy there, I think he was from London, but he plays at Barcelona and at someone else. And his feet, I think this kid was 8 or 9. His feet, he done things that I was looking going, how's he even done that? But it was like the training was insane. I was really shocked. I didn't think Dubai would be good for football, but a trillion light years ahead of America.
Yeah, brilliant.
Which the facilities, did I send you the video earlier of the facilities? I'll send it to you in a minute after this. And if you, it's this Precision Academy that he was at tonight. You have never seen anything like what it is. It's how I almost expected Man United to look. I'll send it to you in a minute, but if you want to look online as well, have a look at Precision Academy. And he's also been over at Man City as well, so that's been good as well. So there's the football. They've got Real Madrid, Barcelona, everyone's in. Not West Ham, because that would cost money and investment. And West Ham are looking for a place. If they'll give it to them for free, the coaches are free.
We put an offer in.
Yeah,
Dubai.
You know what? We haven't even had that this summer or this January, have we? We've put in the old Moody offer.
No.
Yeah. It's if you hear of any transfer news as well, put it on the comments section because we like to follow up on it as well. But we'll have a look a bit more on the transfer saga. But Saturday, Sunderland, come on, you irons.
It's a big one. Come on, you irons.
Cheers, lads.
See you later, fellas.
Later.